Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Stream Key Podcast, Phone In Friday edition, like we do every Friday. Praying that I have the right mic here and you can hear me and it all sounds good. But welcome again to Friday, and of course we have Velok back in the show with me as the constant host. Vel, how's it going, dude?
Always good, BB. How are you?
Good as ever, assuming that my mic is working. It looks like it is, so thanks, guys. And White Shadow for the first time on the Friday show with us again. White, how's it going, dude?
What's going on, guys? It's going great, man.
Sweet.
Glad to be on here.
Yeah, happy to have you. By the way, Azamat lost power last night, and we were hoping that maybe he'd have it on by today again, but still without power, so just three of us today. Sorry for the false advertising. Still should be a good show, though, and if he comes back, maybe we'll have him call in or something to still be on the show. So, fingers crossed, we'll see. But if you guys haven't seen this show before, the Friday show is specifically designed to really go over like news over the past week in terms of anything that came out with Twitch, as well as like hot topics that you guys want to talk about. You can call in via Discord, or as always, just type in the chat and bring up topics or questions or debates, whatever, something you want to talk about. Just bring it up here. Last week we talked about like streaming in different languages and different platforms and crossplay and stuff. So if you have something like that you want to talk about, hit us up in the chat or join the Discord, which is not the TRUgaming Discord. Fun fact, it is actually a Stream Key Discord of its own. Join that and join the waiting room, and we'll pull you on the show to talk about whatever you want with us on air. But to kick things off, I always like to recap the last week with you guys. So I'm going to kick it off with White Shadow, since you're the guest. How has your past week of streaming been? Anything you're excited for or anything big happen?
Whew, man. Last week of streaming, it's been pretty good. Been trying to stick to the new schedule. I have a whole new schedule, so we're still working all of that out. Started the podcast last week. I do a Twitch Tech podcast now, and just did second episode yesterday, actually, and it's going well. And yeah, man, everything else is running pretty smoothly.
Sweet, dude. Yeah, I saw the second episode already. You're getting going with those, and you know I love podcasts.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I love it.
Awesome stuff. And I saw you're playing Blackout 4, which dropped today. I'm sure lots of people will be.
Yes.
Nice.
I'll be doing that later tonight. We're going to do Destiny today.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Velok, how's your past week been on stream, man? What's been going on?
Did the 24-hour, and it was getting close towards the end of it. I was getting very, very tired. But no, I had people stay up with me and play video games with me. I had the best clips I've ever had from my stream were from that stream. Played Bloodborne for the first time, and that made me rage a lot and realize how sad I am inside. So did the 24-hour stream, crushed that. First ever, and so I was very happy, very excited about that. And then this week's just been good, just been doing the thing, trying to catch back up on sleep. So yeah, and then I got some things in the works coming up that I can't talk about, but just stay tuned, muchachos.
I think that'd be a cool topic if we have some time today to kind of recap your 24-hour stream and like lessons learned from it, since you've done that now.
Yeah, for sure.
White Shadow, have you done a 24-hour stream before?
Not yet. There's one in the works.
Ooh, fancy. Everyone's doing big things now. Well, cool. My last week's been good too. Just super busy here at the office. You can see all the podcast stuff that's been happening, so that's been a lot of it. And then I'm really excited to stream lots of League of Legends this weekend. Looking forward to that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there more decorations in the
yeah,
podcast?
it's all Halloween.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys the close up for people on the podcast. It's
That
all Halloween
Kratos, I see.
Yeah, I think there's like a little plush Kratos.
Dude,
right.
you look crazy.
Here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. So excited about that. But let's get into like Twitch news. And I saw less Twitch news this week as opposed to like gaming news. Specifically, I saw a couple of programs in terms of games supporting creators more. So the two big things, and I don't know if we talked about this on late night, so I apologize if anyone already heard this, but Fortnite and PUBG both announced basically more support for streamers recently. So Fortnite came in the version of a sort of support program for creators. So basically creators can now earn money via their viewers who buy V-Bucks, if that makes sense. I don't know.
V-Bucks.
Yeah. Do you know more about the program
okay.
that you want to talk about?
Yeah, a little bit. So I looked at that link that you sent me. I actually signed up for this. So what it is, it sounds like every 15 days you can sign up to support any sort of person. It could be a streamer, YouTuber, cosplay, anything. Like if they play Fortnite, if you want to support them, they can sign up, and then basically if you spend money on V-Bucks or buying skins, I'm pretty sure it's like the same amount that you spent goes directly towards the person you're trying to support. And so you get V-Bucks out of other people spending money on V-Bucks essentially. So if someone wanted to go and support White Shadow, they would just select his name, and then he would get V-Bucks from any purchases that they get. But I'm not sure 100% of people are getting accepted. I think there's like I'm still waiting on an email for mine to get accepted. Probably won't get it.
I got immediately denied.
Really?
Yeah.
Deleted.
It was like 2 hours, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing that program. Yeah. I thought reading it, you also get some sort of monetization from it. I don't know if that's true.
Is that from V-Bucks?
Yeah, I think you get paid off of their. It's kind of like it's almost like an affiliate type thing. Let me look into it.
That's what I read it as too. I'm gonna pull up the article really quick to take a look at it.
Don't listen to anything that I just said. I was wrong.
Don't listen to any of it.
I think you get V-Bucks out of it, but you also get like a monetization.
No, yeah, it says okay. So during the support a creator event, creators will earn money when supporters spend V-Bucks. So it says money pretty specifically.
That will give creators some royalty money. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what the percentage is, but like White Shadow said, it sounds very much like an affiliate program. But it's money, not just V-Bucks. so
go buy stuff on Fortnite. Use my code VELOKK_TV.
So what was that? I didn't quite get it.
Don't use mine because I got denied.
Oh yeah. Well, it's pretty cool. It runs till December, I think, from last I saw. So it's just a cool way for Fortnite streamers to make more money potentially. And this is one of those things where it's almost like, why would you not just drop a code, right? There's no downside to it, especially because people are already buying V-Bucks anyway. May as well just throw a code in there and give someone some free money. So I like that idea a lot. And secondly, PUBG announced that 200 streamers are getting skins for PUBG, which is pretty cool. I think there are people who participated in one of their competitions. I don't follow PUBG as much anymore, so I'm not sure about all their tournament segment stuff. But it's a lot of specifically Twitch streamers are getting custom in-game skins for their brand on PUBG, which is pretty cool. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how both of these games, and just more commonly now, games are sort of supporting creators in new ways.
It's smart.
Yeah, what do you guys think of this so far? Do you think, you've both already applied for the Fortnite one, so obviously you're interested in that. But maybe the PUBG side of things, is that something that you'd be interested in or has some potential, you think?
Not for me personally. Yeah. No. Destiny did one. Yes.
We can hope.
Definitely. We can hope. Or Halo. God, please.
Yeah, I think the downside is the PUBG one is restricted to a certain set of streamers that are within that 200. And yeah, I think if I looked at it right, it was people who participated in the Pro-Am thing or some tournament they did. Whereas the Fortnite one looks like it. They said that they are updating it every single day between Monday and Friday, and there are now over 3,000 streamers on the list. I'm looking at it now. So the way it sounds like it's going to be very inclusive, which I think is a cool feature of that. But
didn't Dunyan do the he competed in something for Fortnite, I thought, didn't he?
I don't know. I know he did PUBG
I don't know
stuff.
if he competed in anything. I didn't hear about that.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Nobody knows.
You know what would be a good game for that would be Overwatch. Since so many people play Overwatch.
Overwatch would be cool.
Overwatch has a little bit of that with featured streamers and stuff, but no in-game support system yet.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how this changes stuff going forward though, because one thing I saw people talking about on the Fortnite subreddit was that over the past year, Fortnite content on YouTube and a lot of Twitch too is like so stale in the sense that it's the same thing every time with like super clickbait stuff, like not as much real content. So I think this is one way they're trying to incentivize that more. So hopefully we'll get less clickbait and more real good content.
I did get accepted into the Fortnite
Really?
program, so
One of the requirements was you had to play Fortnite within the past 15 days, and I was like, I haven't played Fortnite in 15
Well, that's probably why he didn't get accepted.
I might do it again soon.
Oh yeah, Veloc TV is on the list. Look at that. I see him, guys.
That's all. Did it update
cool.
like immediately?
go buy V-Bucks.
Do it.
Use my code.
Give me your money. It's not even your money. It's just extra money.
It's not. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it's extra
give
money.
me extra money. Spend money for yourself. Use my code. I get Epic's money.
I mean, if you think about it, Epic has all of the extra money to hand out.
True. Okay, go ahead. You say something?
Oh yeah, I wanted to say something like, okay, so kind of talking about like the inclusive programs and stuff. I would like to see more games use drops as a platform, because you know how like Warframe does the Twitch drops and things of that sort. So many other games can do that and make a profit off of it and incentivize the streamer.
Yeah, drops are
What do you think?
interesting. Well, okay, so I follow League of Legends, who forever has been the biggest thing on Twitch until Fortnite. And they have refused to do drops for some reason, right? They just recently, like literally in the last month, created this system where you can, if you watch their streams on their website, you get like some in-game, like small in-game benefits. But it's not Twitch drops. It's not just through Twitch. And part of the reason I think they were so reluctant to do that is because Twitch drops to an extent kind of like inflate actual viewer numbers. I mean, I would say pretty severely actually. If you look at like CSGO stuff or the Warframe stuff that happened last year, like the difference between the number in the chat and people actually talking in the chat was very large. So the reason why that's kind of important is because I know Riot doesn't want that, probably because of like trying to sell to sponsors and stuff and having kind of like rigged numbers or fake numbers that aren't actually accurate in terms of people really watching versus people who just leave it on and leave. So I understand that side of it. I think in general, Twitch drops are underutilized though, and there are good ways to do them. Like if you use them for smaller casters and not just huge main channels, that's probably a good way to do that. Where
like Elder Scrolls Online, they do it.
Oh really? How do they do
really
theirs?
They really support like they have like a featured item or something of that sort, and they'll have like it really helps like even the smaller casters because they can be included in on that, and like everybody goes and picks a channel. It's really cool how they do it. I don't know specifically the thing, but me and GamerDad were talking about it the other day, and there's some casters getting bigger because of it, and they have a lot of chat interaction. Because one of the requirements now for drops, I think, is to actually be active in chat. I'm not 100% sure on that or not.
Yeah, that's a good way to gate it more.
Yeah,
because I do see the problem of having like just turn on the stream and you get drops. Having some reward in game for being active in the chat and content creators, I think that's a really cool way to go forward with it. That I'd like to see more of. Yeah, for sure. Val, you have anything to add there?
I just remember being at TwitchCon last year, and we were like, that was when the Warframe drops were happening, and we were just looking at these numbers, like it was just nuts. People like were just getting thousands of viewers or hundreds of viewers, and we were just like, what is going on? And then we heard about the Warframe. We were just like, oh. We were like, why is everybody playing Warframe? Oh, that's why. That's
talking about that for a second. Khaleesi, there was like tons of people. Khaleesi at one point had like 11K at the top of the Warframe directory, and we were just tossing hosts back and forth between each other. It was nuts, man.
Yeah, the Warframe was really funny too because they had a Warframe booth at TwitchCon. So we were like learning about it and seeing these streams. Meanwhile, like Khaleesi is there at the top of the directory, and it was so crazy.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, in general, I would like to see more Twitch drops come. Maybe they can kind of tweak the program and improve it in a little bit.
I hope so, because like it's like they had all those viewers and like White Shadow, you saw some of that, but like it sucks because like they're not there anymore. And like obviously you don't expect all of them to stay or anything.
Mhm.
But it's just one of those things where I think if they were to change it up a little bit, make you like have to sit there and be active in the chat, force you to actually watch the streamer that you're in the chat for, and maybe some of those people will convert and be a viewer for that person, a more dedicated viewer at least.
Yeah, exactly. Like being more involved. I think that's the best way to go forward with it for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was circling back around here. That was sort of like the most of the news I saw. The other big thing was they announced sponsors, exhibitors, and esports at TwitchCon, which is kind of cool. This came out very recently, like even yesterday or today. Lots of stuff going on at TwitchCon. If you are going to TwitchCon, I mean, all the big BRs are out in full force there. Fortnite, PUBG, and Black Ops are all doing something big there. So that's going to be crazy. Also, there's something from like Black Desert Online, which I haven't really heard from in a while. They're apparently going to be big there, which is interesting. Yeah,
That's
Legion
interesting.
from Lenovo, which I was just talking to White Shadow about, are going big there too. And then something that is kind of cool I want to talk about is they're actually giving you like perks at TwitchCon for Twitch Prime now, in terms of you get like free money at the Twitch store if you're a Twitch Prime person, which is pretty nifty.
That is
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, and you get a free tote bag, whatever. And there's some lounge you can go into. So it's kind of cool. They're doing like physical in-person rewards for Twitch Prime too. Yeah. So if you guys are Twitch Prime users and you're going to TwitchCon, you get free stuff and free money. So cool.
Money.
Yeah.
And everybody wants that Twitch swag. So
yeah, exactly. If you guys want to learn more about it, I'll post a link really quick in the chat. And all the stuff we talked about is in the Discord in the news section if you want to go through all those programs and apply to be a Fortnite person who makes money from V-Bucks. You can do that there. I recommend it for sure. Okay, so let's get into the actual questions and stuff here. If you guys have a question for us, now is the time to submit. So please, you have two ways you can apply to do that. Okay, just messed up my whole setup. Thank you for that.
what?
So you can join the Discord by going to the link I just posted in the chat. You want to join a waiting room, and we'll pull you in to talk about something. Any topic you want, it can be related to Twitch. Just come in there, we'll pull you in. And if you call in, you get priority. But if you can't call in, you can still ask a question or bring up a take. Just tag @TRUgaming in the chat so I see it, and go crazy with whatever questions you have. Whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about it there. So waiting on you guys. Let us know what you want to talk about today, because you run the show. It's pretty cool. In the meantime, though, let's while we're waiting for people to get in the calls and submit questions, let's go ahead and talk about the 24-hour stream, Doc. I know you just came off of it. Like, what are some of your biggest takeaways from the stream, and would you change anything during your next one?
I think biggest takeaways are make sure to stay hydrated. I did that for a while, and then I think at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning is when I stopped drinking water as much as I should have. There we go. Okay, move this back now. But yeah, so I stopped drinking water at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. At least I stopped drinking it regularly, like I was before. So staying hydrated helped out a lot, at least for the first bit, and then falling off definitely made it more difficult. I got up and walked around probably at least, so for the first 4 or 5 hours, I probably got up once. And then after that, I probably got up once or twice every hour or two. And, basically just when I felt even a little bit tired, I made sure that I just got up, because I didn't want to get really tired and then be like, oh, I should stand up now. I made sure to stay moving before I felt it really hit me. I didn't drink caffeine until probably 7 or 8 hours in. I probably should have waited a little bit longer than that. But I think the biggest thing that helped me out was having a community there that was able to actually support the 24-hour stream and support me. One, they bought me pizza, which was crazy. They actually some of them have actually know Sam a little bit better and texted Sam. And, we're wondering if they could order us pizza. And they bought me pizza, had it delivered, and I had no idea about it. And so that was really cool. That was a very motivational thing to, have them do. Really cool, really caught me off guard. Another thing is like having people there just to chat with was really cool. But the biggest thing that helped me out was having the people stay up with me and actually like stay in voice chat and Discord like all night. That was insane. I mean, we had people playing Dead by Daylight until 2 or 3 in the morning, and then we played Left 4 Dead 2, and then we finished it off with the last like 6 or 7 hours with Fortnite. And I had people in the chat with me the whole time. There's a few of them that stayed up the entire time with me, and that made the biggest difference for sure. So I think with everything else, like you can do a lot to prepare for it, but if you don't have the community behind you to really support a 24-hour stream, it's going to be a lot more difficult. And I think as long as you have a really great community, like I'm very fortunate to have, I think that's the main thing to look at.
Nice. Yeah, I saw people were playing with you like way early in the morning. That was pretty cool to see just throughout the whole stream.
I mean, Bloodborne was the only game that I played single player, and even then I had Rob join in with me for a couple of boss fights. But after that, it was all multiplayer games, and I never once had to be like, all right, well, we're missing people. You know, like we don't have enough to do this. Like we always had enough people. It was awesome. It made it so much easier.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing, like when we do the marathon streams on the channel and the people who get the 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. shifts, we always say like play with other people because it's a really good way to stay awake and stay motivated.
And keep it interesting for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So lessons mostly learned, drink more water like throughout the whole stream consistently. Yeah. I guess you did a good job of standing up mostly, moving around.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You like I made sure to be standing up and move around before I really felt it. So I definitely didn't want to get the tired, like the fatigue of just sitting in a chair.
Right. Cool. And then try to wait to drink the caffeine till later.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Nice. Awesome. Well, it's cool to hear like we've been following like the saga of it, the build up and then the actual thing and then afterwards. So hopefully this is helpful for people who've been following it. If you're doing your own 24-hour streams, hopefully Velok's experience can help you out as you're thinking through how to do your own. Because I know White Shadow's planning on doing his own. So
yeah,
take some of these lessons for sure.
not gonna down like 6 pizzas and 30 energy drinks right before I do it.
No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, that's a horrible idea. Don't do that.
Maybe not
for
great.
My 12-hour, and I almost died.
All right, we have a question coming in from Lady Grimm. She says, how would you guys handle a situation in which you have a good but sensitive person as a mod in your stream who tends to be overbearing and oversteps? It's a good question. I think this tends to happen when you have like a long-term mod, maybe. But have you ever had the situation where someone is modding your stream, but maybe they're getting a little bit too comfortable with that power?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, wait, go ahead.
This person is no longer a mod, by the way, because they would just go through and ban literally anybody if they didn't like what they were saying in chat. And I had to have a sit down. I had 2 different instances where I had to have a sit down talk with them and a Discord chat privately and say, hey, listen, this is not how we run the channel. Everybody that you've banned or have timed out, because the person would time them out for like thousands of minutes, and I would untime them and I'd be like, hey, listen, I had a chat with the person and now I'm having a chat with you. Don't do this. And the guy was abusing his power because it wasn't any attacks towards me. He was just getting in a fight with the mod for no reason, and the mod was usually starting it. So I have had instances where I had to sit down with like a couple of my mods and say, hey, I understand you're a moderator and you're trying to protect me personally as well, but just give them a second chance. Because unless it's nasty, like if it's a nasty message and you like use your judgment there, but if it's just something out of the ordinary, like if they're just joking around, yeah, okay, let them go with it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But I have had an instance where a moderator was abusing power and that person is no longer a mod, so I kind of nipped it in the bud.
Yeah, I think most people probably run into this in some capacity with their mods. So Velok, have you had this kind of happen on your stream at all, or have you been fortunate?
I mostly have been fortunate. I would say 99% of the time. Over that, almost 100% of the time, my mods are awesome. So if a mod does get out of hand though and starts either to get too sensitive to certain things, you have to remind them that it's not their feelings right now. Like it depends on the streamer. So some people want to make sure that nobody feels attacked, and like that's a really good thing to do for sure. So if that moderator does feel attacked, I don't know. It depends on what it is. I mean, if it is something that goes in your channel and it's not anything that's too crazy or anything, like if it's just like someone says like a really small thing and someone just takes it the wrong way and that moderator just freaks out about it, definitely talk to that mod. But if it's something that, you know, like people can actually feel attacked by and is actually something that needs to be handled, that's totally different, obviously.
Yeah.
But the moderator has to know the tone of your channel, and they have to know how you are with certain things. And they just, I mean, you can't just go off of your own feelings. You have to know the channel. It's not about you as a person, really. When it comes to moderating, that's about keeping the same consistency in like how the chat is and everything in the channel. You can't just pick and choose, or you can't get offended one day and decide to just ban people or even time people out, even though like they've gotten away with it before. You know what I mean? It's really about consistency and kind of putting your own feelings aside a little bit.
Right. Yeah. And I think like some people are saying in the chat, like the mod is sort of an extension of your stream and even kind of representative of you. So you have to make sure that mod is like up to your standards, and not, because I think it can be easy to like, once you've given someone a mod, it's annoying if like that person ends up not being a great mod, but you don't want to unmod them because that's a whole thing, especially if they've been there for a while.
Right.
But I think
that's a potential loss of a viewer if you do that.
Exactly. Yeah, like we talk about this a lot, like the idea of trying to be nice and let one person who's causing problems stay in the chat just because you don't want to ban them can actually lead to more viewers not going to the channel because that person's there. So even though you're trying to do the right thing and keep more viewers in the channel, you're actually doing the reverse by letting them stay. So I think in some situations, like you have to take that hard look. And definitely, like, I think what White Shadow did is right. Like, definitely at least message the person first and talk to them and explain to them, like, okay, that was too far. Next time, do this. And if they're still causing a problem, then you may have to unmod them or keep them out altogether, for sure.
See, the problem was that he kept attacking the same person over and over, and all of the stuff was unjustified. And I was like, dude, no. The second time he did it, I was like, you're done. Sorry. I can't have that in my channel, and that's not how we run stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's our channel. And like people in chat are saying, those mods that we have are an extension of us. And 90% of the time, those mods that we have are going to understand what we want out of our channel as well. Because most of the time, your mods have been your longtime viewers or viewers that you trust with your channel and taking care of chat, just like Vlog said. So, yeah,
for sure. I think that's fair, honestly, even just like a one-time warning. Excuse me. I think you have to, like Vel said, like nip that in the bud because you have to take care of it.
One thing to think about is like a moderator, like in my opinion, a moderator needs to be someone that you could trust with taking over the stream for you. Like this mod could sit in this chair and do my stream for me if I needed them to, like, and handle things the way I would want, run the stream the way I would want. Like they need to, like they need to be an extension of you, like we all just said. But they like you have to trust them enough to be able to run your stream if you want them to moderate it. If you don't trust them to run your stream, they're not going to be, like, you can't mod them.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's crazy because like that kind of that would sort of tend to favor other streamers as mods, right? Especially if you've seen someone stream, you know that they could do that. But I think it can be also people who just have been there for a long time and know your community very well, who will just sort of behave like you and know what you would want in a certain situation. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for the question. I'm trying to remember who that was. I think it was... Well, the chat's moving today, guys. Lady Graham, thank you for the question. Good topic as always. And guys, keep the questions coming at us. We got plenty of time, about an hour left here. So you can either join the calls or in the chat, type your question, and we will answer it here. Green Guy had a follow-up point to there. saying she was basically asking maybe the mod should whisper the streamer and let them know if something's really out of hand personally before timing out. I think that'd be an option. It's definitely sort of up to you how you want to work with your mod team. But do you guys like? Okay, this is actually kind of an interesting follow up. How do you guys work with your mods when either they want to get your attention for something or you ask them to do something? Like, what's your mod relationship like? That makes sense.
What do you mean? Like if something's getting out of hand and like you want them to handle it really fast, or
or like let's say like a mod has a concern about something, or wants to bring something to your attention. Like how do they generally do that? What's your preferred way of that going on your stream? Maybe start with Devin on this one.
Yeah. So I think having the relationship with your mods where they can feel free to DM you whenever they need is huge. Because you definitely don't want to talk about certain things in chat. And you definitely want to make sure that as a mod, you're handling things the right way as far as the streamer is concerned. And so any questions that you do have or any issues that you might have, I think is definitely worth messaging direct, like DMing that streamer. And that's something that I know I do with my mods is we talk a lot, even about just random stuff. Like talk to your mods outside of chat for sure, because you want them to feel comfortable with talking to you about any issues or anything, whether they think that there's something going wrong in the chat or anything. DMs are always great.
Yeah. DMs, I think whispering, that's the way I would do it personally. And I think it's a good way to do it. White Shadow, do you have a similar kind of policy or?
Yeah, kind of. Like for the mods that are in the States, most of them have my phone number. So if like I don't have Discord up for whatever reason, or I'm not paying attention to Discord and doing my thing on stream, they can text me. And of course, I've got my phone right here with me just in case, so I can glance at it and be like, oh, okay, we need to take care of that. Also whispers and like DMs in Discord. That's the easiest way. Because like Volok said, you don't want to talk about that in chat or a voice chat because you want to kind of keep everything running smoothly for the rest of the viewers that are there. So if there's an issue that's going on, take care of it privately.
Yep, I think so. That's like, there's that saying about, what is it? Like praise publicly and...
praise in public, punish in private.
Thank you. Yes, I couldn't remember the second half of it, but
huge advocate of that.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm the same way. I think that's a good idea.
Get mad.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, we have a question. This is actually from last week from Jesse B, but we didn't get to it. And just a heads up, it is a long question. So let's get to the context here because the context is important. So she says, so during the charity stream and impending Duff segment, this is our charity stream, we had someone pop into the chat and basically just kind of self-promote his stream, saying he was raising money as well for kids with cancer, also, and kind of just left the active chat. Now, the self-promote was kind of scummy and was already discussed. We've already discussed this many times here, but I went to his stream to check out his charity and maybe even donate there too. The issue was he wasn't advertising a charity that pertained to what he said in the chat. He also lacked a donate button for his charity and all around just looked off. So me being me, I called him out, and after some back and forth with him, he finally says, oh, I'm not raising money for this charity, the one he advertised on the stream. What do you do about this? I understand you can report people, but it just doesn't seem enough. What do you do in this situation? So basically, he was feigning raising money for a charity on stream. It's a good question, and I think I'm interested to hear you guys' responses to this. So someone basically came in who was promoting that they were running a charity stream, and turns out they were not. They're, from the sounds of us, just collecting money for themselves under the lie, essentially, of charity. White Shadow, what's your take on this one?
Oh, man. Gosh. First of all, don't do that, because that's false advertising. And second of all, like, was it okay, so I have a question for you. Was it a actual charity that he was promoting, like a real solid charity, or was it just something that he made up out of thin air and was like, hey, I'm raising money for this so and so charity, they do stuff for kids? It
sounds like there was a specific charity. Jess didn't actually name a charity in her question, but it sounds like there was a specific one.
Because she's like, man, there are so many, like, that can also turn into a legality issue, because he's raising money for a charity that he's probably never going to donate to. So I don't know. I'd have an issue with it, especially like just self-promoting in our chat. And I understand like he's looking for help, but there's other ways to go about it. If he was actually like looking for help that way. I don't know, Valak. What do you think, man?
Oh my god, dude.
That's a hard one, man.
This is it. That's a
Small follow up. It seems this is why I love having people in the chat, because guys can save us a lot of time by coming on and just explaining everything. It sounds like Jess is saying that he was donating to a charity, but it wasn't the one he was advertising. Okay, he was advertising Cars for Kids, which is a childhood cancer foundation. But then his donations were going somewhere else or to himself. It's unclear. But essentially, they're not going to where he said they were going. So, thoughts on that sort of thing? We'll kick that back to Belloc now.
Yeah, so anytime you're saying you're donating to anywhere, make sure you're actually donating to that place. Also, going into another charity stream saying that you're also doing a charity stream is the exact same thing as going to another streamer and saying, hey, I'm also streaming. Like, I understand you're doing it for a good reason. You're just trying to raise money, but this, like, don't, like, it's like, hey, I'm doing something good over here too. Check me out.
Yeah.
Or it's like, hey, I'm doing something good over here. Make sure that I get donations for this too, so I look good. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. It's not like, that's not what it's about. If you're actually just trying to raise money, then advertise via social media and talk about it to your community, and then don't go into other channels and advertise that. Don't be that person. Because if someone comes into my charity stream and is like, hey, come donate in my charity stream, I'm going to be like, no. I'm already doing a charity stream. Like, we're like, that just it doesn't make sense to me.
All right, we have Jessie in the chat. She's going to come in and explain, I think.
Okay.
Jess,
cool.
You there? Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I just wanted to clarify on what had happened.
Okay, please.
So he came in and he was like, come check out my charity. And I was like, you know what? We're all in the mood to donate. And I popped in and I saw the charity he was advertising. And I took a look at the website and it said nothing about what he had advertised. So he looked it up. Me and someone else in the chat at the time had looked it up. And it was something about like Jewish kids and getting them their first cars or something like that. And I was like, this pertains nothing to what he said originally. And I told him that. I was like, this doesn't pertain to anything. Because I think like Make-A-Wish has like a different version of their charity, but specifically to get cars for kids with cancer. And that's what he was trying to talk about. And he was like, oh no, I'm raising money for this. But he didn't have a donation link. He didn't have any information on the charity that he was raising. It just seemed off. It just didn't seem right.
Was he like tracking the donation progress at all, or?
Yeah, he was.
Okay. Interesting. So it sounds to me like he may just be very new to it, and like
Could have
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Very well.
Maybe he's thinking people donate to me, and then I take those donations and donate them.
Yeah.
To the. It could be that, and like that's not the right way to do that, because like there's much easier ways to do it than that. I think he just needs to be informed a little bit more.
Yeah.
So maybe in that kind of situation, maybe let them know about the website called Tiltify, which makes things super easy to do donations and track them and everything. And they don't actually have to donate the money to you, and you can actually advertise your Tiltify link to make it look like you're actually doing a charity stream. I think it's about informing people first, and then if they're like, no, I don't want to do that, they can just donate to me. Like, then I wouldn't trust that person. You know what I mean?
It just didn't seem right when he split charities like that. And I was like, if you're raising money for a specific charity, how are you gonna to switch it like that? How do you not know what charity you're donating to?
Yeah.
And that's where everything just kind of seemed wrong. But I just feel like there wasn't enough to do in that situation to where either you could help correct it, because when I asked him and was like, hey, there's better ways to do this, he's like, no, I'm doing it this way. And I was like, okay, that's great and all, but it looks bad.
Some people just don't understand.
Yeah, it's either he didn't know what he was doing, or like he was actually just playing dumb and doing his own thing anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like circling back to that question in terms of like, what do you do about it? Assuming that you're not the person doing it, like Vel said, don't do that. But if you're concerned about like, this person is doing something kind of scummy on Twitch, it's really tough. I mean, you can report people. I don't really know that it'll do anything. Even if it is like a TOS violation, that's not really on you to fix. Like it's more of a Twitch issue. So it's tough to say, but like really kind of just report it and move on. Probably ban him from the chat if he's trying to stop promoting your chat or our chat in this case.
Sure.
But hopefully he'll learn his lesson the hard way. Because like if he's not responding to help or criticism from someone else, then he might need a harder lesson. So
yeah, and I think with people like that, like the ones who either don't want to change or don't care to learn certain things about that, and the ones who basically just don't have the right mentality, it's going to show like throughout their entire stream. Like one tiny little thing that they do wrong, it's just a hint of what their actual stream is like and what their mentality is towards everything. And if they don't take that seriously, if they probably don't take other things seriously, and they're not most likely not going to do well on Twitch. So like, yeah, you can report them and everything, but the best thing to do is just, if they're not taking your advice, just let them do their thing, because like Green said, they might have to figure out the hard way, or maybe they'll never figure it out, and it just won't be a thing that grows the way they want it to.
Yeah. It definitely just felt like a test of morals right there. And I don't know, that just seemed really wrong to me.
No, I mean, it definitely is the way you described it. So I think it's a good thing that you brought it up, and it was a cool thing to talk about, because I don't think it happens too often, but it's important to like kind of look at some ways that you could do something wrong and realize that, okay, don't do that. Do it this way instead. That can be helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For sure. Do you have any other follow-up questions or anything?
Nope, that's it.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. Thanks for the question.
Bye.
Bye.
Good topic. I didn't know that happened during the charity stream, so it's good to hear about that. All right, so we are open for questions again, guys. If you want to submit something or call in like Jess did, you can do that now. Yeah, go ahead.
So when you have a rule of no swearing during a charity stream, when you say 3 out of 4 letters of the swear word, does that count? Asking for a friend.
I say yes, personally.
Okay.
I say no. See, this isn't about me. This is about Katie. And so in this case, I say yes.
100% about Katie.
The reverse. She's standing in the other room now. Sorry. Dre rules. It's a yes.
Yeah, Green told me to ask that question. Paid me $5.
I'll pay you later. PayPal you in a bit.
All right, I got you.
For those who are confused, during the charity stream, I made a bet that my coworkers could, if they would not swear for, I think it was an hour, then I would donate $50. And Katie came dangerously close to breaking that hour.
75%.
Yeah, almost there. So Devin and I think that she, the whole way it was said, but
yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, if you guys want to submit questions, now is the time. If you already asked a question and I missed it, please don't hesitate to re-ask it again, because chat moves when we do these shows. So repost it and let us know what you want to talk about. So, okay, actually, this is a good topic for today that I've been waiting to talk about for a little while. It's podcasting in particular, because the White Shadow just started a podcast. He's been on a podcast before. Veloc's been doing this with me for a little while on Stream Key. So let's talk about podcasts as a streamer and why they can be really powerful, or like just lessons learned since doing them. Because I think it's one thing that people kind of underestimate, especially with Twitch, because it just makes so much sense to do a podcast on Twitch, and you can really repurpose that content. So I'll start this with White Shadow again, since you just started your podcast. Like,
okay,
what kind of lessons have you learned so far by starting that podcast, and like, has it benefited you in any really discernible ways yet?
I think it's early to see if it's it's being beneficial to my channel personally, but I'm having fun with it, and I think that's the main thing. Lessons that I'm learning is you really have to like get those social media posts out. Like that's very, very, very important. And I'm kind of learning as I go, much like I'm trying to learn as much as I can from like StreamKey. Like I watch how you do the promotion and stuff like that. Content is a thing, so make sure you have your content ready. Make sure you have your sound check, all of that stuff. Podcasting to me is different than streaming because it's like, especially when you're by yourself, you have to like make sure you're talking to everybody behind the camera. It's almost like YouTube when you're doing it by yourself. When you have a guest, is you can talk to each other. So that's different for me. And I don't know. It's just, I think the social media promotion is the biggest thing that I'm like really trying to get a grasp on, making sure people know like where to find the podcast, making sure they know like when we're going to be live on Twitch, things of that sort. So it's kind of a learning process for me personally, but I'm having fun with it, and I'm starting to see more people get interested. So I'll keep that question for me like 10 or 11 episodes in, and I'll re-answer that one.
Once you've gotten down the road.
Yeah.
I'm excited to say that you did start it because I think it has a lot of potential. So you said you're enjoying it a lot so far, though, essentially.
Oh, dude, I love it. It's so fun because I like educating people in tech. I love talking about technology. So that's like, and relating that to streaming and educating people on how to build their channel production value is just like a passion of mine. So it's kind of normal. Like, why not do it, you know?
And does it feel like hard to do the podcast on the stream? Because, so I'll just tell you, in my experience, like podcasting on Twitch just kind of feels like streaming anyway, and then really just taking the VOD and putting it somewhere. So what have you kind of felt with that, like the experience of, hosting a podcast yourself so far?
It's natural on Twitch, but for me, it's really hard because I try not to read and like chat too much until the end, because I try to answer questions at the end, and I don't want to like interrupt the like normalcy of a podcast because I'm trying to post this to Anchor or YouTube and things of that sort. But I don't guess it really matters, and that's stuff I'm still trying to figure out. Like I don't know what to do in that aspect, and I think that's something that I need to learn and teach myself on how to do that.
Nice.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. It's a learning process for sure. I'm curious. So Vel, you've been doing this with me for a little while now. I mean, you were on a few interview shows before, but for it's been a while now, a couple months, you've been consistently doing these Friday shows with me, and you actually hosted it at least once yourself. So since you started doing this more consistently, like how has that kind of changed your own stream? Has it kind of changed your perspective on podcasting?
Yeah, for sure. Podcasts are great. They're really like, when you first start out, it's really weird. It's different because like you don't relate it to streaming as much. Yeah. But now it's just like streaming for me, like you guys were just saying. I'm still talking to people. You know what I mean? I'm just as comfortable in front of the camera. Yeah, it's pretty much the same, and it's been super beneficial. It's been crazy. Like every once in a while, I'll have someone come in and be like, "Hey, I saw you in an interview." And now I have to be like, well, which one? You know what I mean? Or like, which is really cool. It's really neat, like outsourcing the VODs to other places. Because I always ask them, like, did you find me on YouTube? Which most of the time it is YouTube. Just having people come in that wouldn't normally come check out the channel has been great. And podcasting is really cool, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm hoping I can do more in the future.
Nice. This is probably for both of you guys. Have you guys noticed like more follows on your channel when you're not streaming since you joined or started being on the podcast more often?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the things that I love about the podcast is because like Twitch content is kind of hard to repurpose on other platforms. Like you can't just take your stream and put it on YouTube because it's like, 8 hours is something that's going to be boring. Even if you cut it up to like an hour, it's probably not a great YouTube segment unless you edit it and highlight it and do a lot of work to it. Whereas podcasting is great because you can literally just take like an hour-long clip, make very little changes to it, and put it on either an audio platform or YouTube or something, and people will want to watch that. And it's great because it's still building you an audience and potential followers and stuff while you're not streaming, which is a really good feeling. And just having like this passive thing out there that is building you interest while you're doing nothing. So I love podcasts, in case you hadn't noticed. But
It's really fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. I think it's really easy too. People kind of they think like it's too hard to do. There's too much involved. I think like White Shadow's example is very good. If it's just him talking at a camera for an hour, which is basically the same thing as streaming anyway. And with things like Anchor, it makes it really easy to put it everywhere instantly. Like, have you had any difficulty with it at all?
No, it's literally one of the easiest things I've ever set up. And the cool thing about Anchor, for those of you that don't know, it posts stuff to like Spotify, Apple Cast, Google Podcasts for you. So like it puts my podcast is already on like 5 or 6 different places right now, and it's on Anchor, like the main hub, and on YouTube now. So like it's a really cool, useful thing if you're looking to start a podcast. I recommend Anchor. Like it's awesome. I don't know if Green, do you know if they put it on Spreaker for you, or do you have to cross post that to Spreaker?
I don't know. Spreaker tends to be more of like a hosting platform than a listening platform. So
okay,
I'm not sure, but I mean, Anchor will hit all the big boys for you, like iTunes and Spotify and Google Play. All you do is literally, Anchor is either a phone app or a desktop app where you just take your audio, put it up there, and it automatically puts it everywhere. The phone app, honestly, if you just want to do your own like phone podcast, it's a really easy way to do it. And that's why I think like really people should look into it more, because it's so easy and the benefits can be so big if you do it right. So try it, guys. If you have an idea for a podcast, like
so fun.
Gringa just had a question about like a medical podcast. I think you should definitely do it, because you can just do it on stream, repurpose it onto YouTube and iTunes, whatever later, and just so much free content out there that you can give people.
Do a disclaimer first, though. Being in every podcast or something like that. Do a disclaimer for sure.
Definitely. All right. Well, we have a caller, actually, Crazy Wolf. So let's pull him in here really quick. Crazy Wolf, hello, you there?
We have a caller, actually.
Whoa,
Crazy Wolf,
hold up.
so let's pull him in here.
Okay, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Still had the stream going on.
What's up?
I just still had the stream.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Audio.
No worries.
Audio, yeah.
What do you want to talk about today?
I had a question. It's probably this most simple question I'm going to ask. Got like a wide variety of answers.
Okay.
I do stream. I don't stream very much right now because I don't have a mic for my PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'm not affiliated yet.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Harder to like get followers when nobody really knows about you. So like, how can you grow your channel to get those followers and get like the requirements to get affiliated?
Okay. So,
big question.
one thing that took me a very long time to realize is that there's no secret to getting viewers. There's nothing to get more attention to you or anything. The most you can do is grind it out and post on social media, use hashtags. But the main thing, the best way to get viewers is to just stream. Like I looked for it for so long. Like, there's got to be a way to get more people to just at least stop in the channel for 5 seconds. There has to be a way, but there's nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You just have to grind it out, and sometimes it takes longer than other people. Sometimes you'll get there faster. And that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the quality of your stream or you as a streamer. Sometimes it's just more difficult. Sometimes, it's really chance. And basically, like when it comes down to something like that, where it's just there's a chance that you'll get a viewer, or maybe you won't. When it comes down to something as simple as that, the best thing to do is to just stream more often, as much as you can, because you're just increasing your chances. That's the best way I could put it. You go for as much as you possibly can, and obviously you want to make sure your streams are still quality. So try to find the perfect blend between those two, because you don't want to be doing 24-hour streams 3 times a week just because you're trying to get as many hours on stream as you can. You know what I mean? Like, don't kill yourself, because then you're not going to have a quality stream, but find the balance between how long you want to stream and how often you want to do that. And that's just how you get viewers, man. You just got to grind, and it takes a long time.
Yes.
I think you were saying in your stream a couple days ago or yesterday or something, like you got affiliated last year, and you've been streaming for like 3 years now.
Yeah, I've been streaming for 2 years, and basically affiliate wasn't a thing when I started. And last year was me trying to get back into the flow of consistently streaming, or at least start up into the flow of consistently streaming. And it wasn't until the very end of last year, beginning of this year, where it really started to click on like the things I needed to do to grow everything on my channel, whether it's my community, viewer base, subscriber count, everything. It's a lot of different things you have to do, but none of it matters if you don't stream enough to get a viewer to come in. You have to make sure that you're just constantly doing that, and then the first thing you need to worry about is just streaming. Like, that's the first thing you need to worry about, is just streaming as much as possible. And then when you finally start seeing that you're putting enough time in and getting 5 to 10 viewers, that's when you can start fine-tuning everything and worrying about, like, well, how do I grow my sub count? Like, how do I grow my subscriber base? How do I get regular viewers more consistently? How do I convert these viewers into more regular viewers? And like, there's just certain things to fine-tune, but the main thing is just stream as much as you can with a balance of quality, obviously.
Something that was said to me when I first started streaming, and it's something that Man vs. Game, he's been on Twitch for a long time. It's the ABCs of streaming. So always be casting. And what he means by that is you balance your life and what you can do on stream, but try to be in front of that camera when you can. Or if you don't have a camera, just try to be on stream, like Vlog said. Focus on the basics. And I think that's somewhat overlooked when you stream, because you can get caught up in like, oh, I need all these flashy graphics. Oh, I need to build a PC. Oh, I need to have the best microphone possible. No, you don't need any of that when you start. Just try building your base up. Make yourself a checklist. This is something that I did, and I still do to this day. Make sure you're hitting your social media. Make sure you're shouting yourself out on your social media, so like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever else you use. Make sure you have like your viewers in your Discord know if you have a Discord. Make sure, like, one of the biggest things to me was networking. That doesn't mean go in and self-promote in other people's streams. That means go in and make friends and integrate yourself in communities, just like TRUgaming. Get to know people. People are eventually going to say, oh yeah, you stream, right? And then they're going to come check out your stream and hang out for a while. Just like Vlog did, just like Dan the Dapper did, just like Green does. Like, everybody has done that. And you'll see some of the same people in Vlog stream and Green stream and my stream and Dan stream. You get to know friends, and those friends travel around to each other. So it's just like integrating yourself into a community is a huge overlooked thing. And a lot of people think, oh, hey, I can just go throw my stream link out there and somebody will press it. Well, if they don't know you, why would they even press that link, right? So get to know people. And one other thing is, like, don't just throw your link out on social media. Don't make that like the center focus of all of your social media. The thing is to be social. So go and talk to other people on Twitter. Comment on their posts. Comment on stuff on Instagram. Comment on stuff on Facebook. Get to know people. That's the thing about streaming, is you're making friends, and they'll eventually come check your stuff out.
Yeah. Before I talk, Wolf, you have any follow-up questions or thoughts to add?
No, that was not that wasn't the answer that I was like expecting. I really liked that answer. Like, both
awesome. Yeah, I was just going to quickly add. So I think in general, like, you guys both hit really great points. Of course, the more that you're streaming, the more the more often you're on, the more often you can be found, and more people can come into your stream. That just makes sense. You can't argue that. But I will say that, like, when you're starting out, I think it can actually be more beneficial to do things besides streaming, especially like if you're just starting with zero, like nobody's in your stream. Like, you can, like, one way to grow for sure is to sit there and just stream every day, 24 hours a day as much as you can. People will find you eventually. And that's just chance. Someone's gonna find it. I think it's much faster though to like use that time instead to be networking, like White Shadow said, and not, networking is such a buzzword. Actively, like
It really
just
is.
getting to know like 1 or 2 people a day really, really well, because the way that you grow the beginning of a stream is by having friends in it. And they can be real life friends or people you meet online, but getting to really know people who want to come out and watch you, who enjoy your content. So making sure that your content is something that people want to watch, because I mean, you can stream all day, but if your content sucks, no one's going to watch it anyway. So I think, like, especially when you're starting out, like, you should put more emphasis actually into making sure that what you're doing is something worth watching, and that you put time into meeting people to come watch you, not just sitting there and waiting for people to show up, but actively going out first and meeting people, and then hoping that they'll come watch you, like, in return. And then, like, once you've started to get that rolling, then the consistency really comes into play with, like, are you streaming at the same time every day? Are you streaming for a long time? That really starts to snowball once you have a small group with you. So that's like my kind of take on it. It's a little bit different than Velox, but kind of hand in hand too. So hopefully that helps you out.
It does. Thank
Just
you.
remember, word of mouth is huge. Your friends are going to tell other friends about you.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Of course,
Yeah, man. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
No problem.
See you, bro.
See ya.
See you, buddy.
Sweet.
That's a
His
good
name is
question.
Crazy Wolf, and I
Yeah.
heard a dog. I love it.
Those simple questions are great. I really like
Yeah.
those kind of things because it really like lets you get into like the basics of streaming, which is just like I feel like more people need to know.
Yeah, I mean, we
And
get
it's
so
a
like
really good refresher too for everybody.
yeah, you can really get hung up on like the super high end and specific stuff, but
Mhm.
sometimes like not even just the basics, but like the fundamentals of like
Absolutely.
what makes a good stream. That's really important to go back to
Mhm.
for sure.
100%.
Cool. We have a call from Edible, and remember, guys, if you join the calls, you get priority. So we're going through calls first here. Edible, hello.
Do we
You
need to
around?
mute first?
Maybe.
Edible? Did you
Edible?
unmute?
Hello, friend. You there?
He forgot how to Discord.
He's probably
Oh.
still arranging the words he's trying to say without getting,
All
without
right.
us losing viewers.
Well, we'll table Edible for a second here because Small just joined. So Edible, if you're watching, get your mic fixed and come back on. We'll pull you back. Let's get Small Panda on instead really quickly here. Small Panda, hello, you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yay! Hi. Okay, so follow-up question on what Wolf said. So, White, I see that you post on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and same with you, Valley, and you, Green. Do you have like a set thing that you post to these sites, to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or do you make a unique post every time? What's better?
Unique post.
Unique post for sure.
Yeah. You want it to feel authentic and real.
For mine, I always put like some graphic to like catch somebody's eye, or like a little GIF or video. But like every time I'm saying something on the post, it's always unique. Because with social media, you want them to get to know, like, you want them to get an idea of who you are. So if you're funny, like if you're a Velox, you're going to be hyped literally 24/7. He's probably, most of his are like really like hyped up and ready to roll. And like you just make it unique to yourself. Let them have like a little snippet of who you are when you go live. And I was gonna say, and don't use like thousands of hashtags and at people and stuff like that, because just don't do that.
And don't use the retweet wagons.
Yeah.
Whatever those are.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so two things here. I want to talk like a little more specifically about what you do, because I'm like Small. I'm guessing you'd like more, like what kind of posts do you make on those platforms?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's kick this off to Velox then. Like when you're posting on, I know Twitter and Instagram are your big ones. What do you use? What kind of stuff specifically do you post when you're posting there?
So it depends on what I'm playing. So like if I'm doing like a single player game, I like to take like an image from that game, like I did it for Spider-Man and God of War, and I'll take my face and I'll put it on that character just to kind of like make it a little bit more unique, but to show that I'm playing this game. And it really catches people's eye, like when they see Kratos, but they got this weird face on there. You know what I mean? So like things just to make it different and to pop out a little bit. And then obviously, like for me, like, you know, I'm going to talk about how hype I am. So the first letters are going to be all caps, coffee stream. And, you know, I'll try to say something funny or whatever if I can think of something to say. Like I don't always have something prepared, or I never have anything prepared, but I don't always have the idea in time to make the post. But just try to make it as unique to you as possible. And like White Shadow said, like make something that pops out a little bit and catches people's attention, to where like even if it's something that looks weird, like my face on Kratos, it's still going to catch people's eye. It's going to be something different, and be like, maybe I should go check out this stream. You know, he's clearly weird. So you know, something like that, like anything just to make yourself a little bit different, because anybody could just post a link on Twitter and then a couple of hashtags and then say I'm live. It's all about the effort that you put into it.
Yeah, I think that's in general why, like, if you do a copy paste tweet or the same image or something, like that's just going to get ignored as people see the same thing over and over again. So that's definitely not the way to go. I will say, like, in terms of making like different tweets or different posts each time and making it individual, it doesn't mean you have to be crazy with it. Doesn't mean you have to make your face on an image of somebody. You have to. Even though that's great, it's probably a little time consuming, and just not everyone knows how to do it. So I think you can still make original posts each time, even if they're just simple. And that alone will make you stand out more than just posting like live now on Twitch link. So in general, like make sure you're consistent, and like don't let yourself get daunted by having to make some crazy fancy post that's going to attract everyone. It can be like very, like sometimes I'll just type random words and like the link, and that's it. And that's different enough that it's interesting.
You mean like goals?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd click on that.
Wasn't there one where you just put a bunch of different greetings at the beginning of it, like hey, hi, hello, how are you? Like just a bunch of those listed off. Yeah,
like there's a lot of ways to be unique without having to be super fancy about it, if that makes sense. So
yeah, that definitely does. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Cool. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. That helps me out a lot because I'm just starting to get into the Tweetiverse and the other things. Words are hard, guys.
Needs more coffee.
Before you go, something that I use for making like social media posts quick and easy. There's an app. I don't know if you have to have a Adobe account for this or not, but it's called Spark Post. And you can literally like make just a quick shout out image that looks really nice and clean for Instagram, Facebook, whatever. It's free, like what Susie just said in chat. And then there's another one that I use to make those little video GIF images. It's called, and it's just words, but you can put like animations and stuff to it. It takes like 3 seconds. It's called Legend if you're on Android or iOS. Something to check out in case you guys want to use that.
Really good tools out there, like schedulers if you want to use that, Hootsuite and Later and IFTTT, I think is the last one. Those are really good for like if you can't always be there to make your post, you can schedule them out for the week, like whenever you're going to be starting live, and just save you one step. Or like if you're going to be away from the stream for something. So those are good too. Lots of tools out there for socials, for sure. Small Pan, Eve, any other follow-up questions or anything else we can help with?
Nope, that was it. And White, thank you for those two, for Spark Post, right? And Legend?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
See ya. All right. Well, Edible has disappeared from the voice chat, so I think his Discord is broken forever. Sorry about that, Edible.
Bring it grounded, Jim.
Yeah. Speaking of Gringa, she's in the voice chat. Let's pull her in. See what she's got to say. Gringa, hello, you there?
Hey there, guys.
Hey, what's going on?
He's not grounded.
Okay, all right, dang it.
He's having some technical difficulties. But I just have a question about game selection on your stream and interacting with chat. I know this is a big problem for me. I find that when I select games that are fast paced, I can't pay attention to chat. And I feel like the games where I can interact with chat are so boring that nobody's there. So I kind of wanted your opinion on how you guys select games and interacting with chat and keeping up. And it's just been a big struggle for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a great topic because all games are not equal when you're trying to interact with
Yeah.
the chat at the same time as playing a game. I know, Devin plays Fortnite and Whiteshell plays a lot of Destiny. Both of those are somewhat involved. I would argue, depends on what you're doing, but Destiny can be more involved than Fortnite a lot of times. Let's kick this off with White Shadow. What are your tips for choosing a game?
Man, that's a hard one. I'd choose games that I love to play. So if I enjoy the game, 9 times out of 10, the people in chat are going to enjoy watching me play. And I play Destiny because it's something that literally anybody can pick up and play. And there's a huge community behind it, and people are always looking to play with other people. So like I get to play with some friends, get to go do stuff together. I don't know. I just really like the game, and I've always liked it. So that's the reason why I play it. You can do other things where you look into like the statistics behind what the viewership is and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, just find stuff you like to play. Just find stuff you love and that you enjoy to play. And go ahead, Green.
I was just gonna, kind of like jumping off more into our question here in terms of like, let's say that you do love a game that it can be very fast paced. So it's kind of hard to interact with chat. Like, how do you navigate that problem?
It's a learning experience, honestly. Like at the start when I started streaming Destiny, I didn't know, like I was so focused on the fast pacedness and making sure I was playing the game correctly that I didn't talk to chat as much. You got to learn to like look over it and like glance, because I keep chat closest. I have 2 monitors. I keep chat the closest to the monitor that I'm playing on, so I can look over a glance and answer chat real quick and keep playing the game at the same time. So it's kind of, if you like playing games like Destiny or Overwatch or Halo, you got to learn to like glance over at chat every couple seconds or so, and you can keep maintaining that same play style or playing the game. That's personally just what I do. Everybody's different though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Block.
Go ahead, Billock.
Oh yeah, so with certain games it's easier for me, obviously, because like playing multiplayer shooters, like they're all going to be relatively the same as far as like how much I can watch like chat and react to chat and everything. The best thing, in my opinion, as far as like if you feel like changing it up from something that you're comfortable with, like with me playing single player games, it's not something that I normally used to do on stream at all. But I think finding a game where it's entertaining to watch, where you can have good content even without reacting to chat or anything, is huge. That way, like if you're not reacting to chat as much as you normally would be or should be, there's still really good content there just to basically receive. Like they're just like they're watching you because like things are going really well or like something really funny is happening. Like with not Dark Souls, with Bloodborne, it's a little bit more difficult for me to watch chat than it is in Fortnite, but there's some really good content there. Like a lot of good, like there's some ragey moments. There's some, obviously for those of you that were there for the 24-hour stream, you saw a lot of things happening. And it doesn't necessarily mean you need to pay attention to chat as much if you're just making quality content. If your stuff is good and people are being entertained by it, that's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a build-off question on that.
Yeah.
So if you love a game, and you're not very good at it, should you continue playing that game, or should you change based on like, hey, I feel like I'm not getting viewers, I feel like things aren't going the way they should, maybe I should just change the game?
Can I ask what game you're playing?
Well, what you asked. I'm getting into Overwatch. I'm terrible. It takes time. I don't have a lot of time, but I play when I can, and I don't get hardly any interaction on that. And then I'm getting into World of Warcraft, and I do enjoy that very much. I do play that off stream a lot. World of Warcraft, as I'm calling it, and I get a lot more interaction with that, but it's kind of like people stop in, they say hi, and then they leave, which is fine. I don't have a lot of knowledge on the game. And I watch a lot of other streamers, like It's Paladin is amazing, but he has so much knowledge that he has a lot to talk about. Me, I'm just kind of asking everybody, what do I do? So, I'm just kind of trying to find what I should play and stick with it.
So, with multiplayer competitive shooters, especially ones that have a competitive game mode built in, like Overwatch, CSGO, anything like that, most of the people that are going to watch that game, most of them, obviously not all, but they're going to care about what your rank is. Just because, like, most of the people who watch those kind of, yeah, exactly. And that's like, so I'm not saying you shouldn't play Overwatch, but what I am saying is that you should handle it a different way than what other people do. So you don't want to be an Overwatch streamer that does the same thing as everybody else in Overwatch, but you're just not as good. You know what I mean? Like with me playing Fortnite, I'm not good at Fortnite, so I can't play the same way as other people. I can't stream the same way as other streamers in Fortnite because they're just good at the game, and that's really like that's a really big part of their stream. I can't just stream based off my skills. I need to make sure that whatever is going on around me, I'm trying to make sure it's the most entertaining part. Like I try to like amp it up as much as I can because that's what's going to separate me from everybody else. That's what's going to make me different than just a casual Fortnite player who's just streaming it. You really need to boost that up as much as you can. Like you gotta entertain as much as possible, especially with the multiplayer scene. Anything that's like even slightly competitive, you gotta figure out a way to be different than the other streamers on there. And then people who stop in looking for quality gameplay will be like, oh, well, this person sucks, but man, this is a lot of fun to be here. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to be good at those kind of games, but you just got to be different. Which is, I think, is really cool in that kind of directory. Like being able to grab viewers from a competitive scene and convert them into viewers of just content is awesome. I think that's an amazing thing to be able to do. And you said the other one was World of Warcraft?
Yes,
okay.
I love that game so much. But I'm just getting started. I'm only like level 50, and I'm getting to learn things, and I have a lot of questions and whatever. I don't have anything really to offer my viewers if they're looking for information on this game because I'm still learning myself. So
right. So I don't know too much about World of Warcraft, but obviously I know of it, and I know that it's not a lot of very intense moments going on. Like yeah, there's raids and big battles and stuff like that, but it's not like an intense fighting game.
No, it's pretty chill.
Exactly. And so the best thing I can offer you as far as advice for that is make sure that you're playing with people who will provide quality what am I trying to say? They'll basically just like they'll boost the conversations for you and make it more entertaining. Like, you know, that way you have something to bounce off of because there's not really much to bounce off of in game. So if your conversations can be on point and be hilarious, that's where that game's going to help you out the most.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in really quick for White Shadow and just say,
no, you're fine.
Like, this is a question where like I don't think there's a straight answer to it, like an objective answer, because it really depends on like what you want to get out of the stream. Because like for me,
my biggest thing in stream, sorry to cut you off, what I want is to be interactive. Because obviously it's not for my subpar gameplay ability. I want to know people, but I'm just kind of stuck not knowing what I should do next.
Okay, yeah. So in your case, if interaction is really important to you, even like more so than the game you play in a sense, then I would definitely like go at that 100%. Like if that's what makes you happy with your stream is seeing growth and interacting with people and being a part of that, then you probably do choose the game that is a slower pace or whatever game is better for you to interact with people on. Because that's what you define as that's what matters to you. So then everything else on the stream should support that, if that makes sense. So it means you might sacrifice a game that you really like because it's not great for interaction, but ultimately you're happier because you're choosing interaction anyway. Okay. So in that case, it sounds like it's World of Warcraft is the better game to stream for interaction for you right now. And there may be better games out there for you where interaction could be even better. But it's not Overwatch is what I'm hearing.
It's definitely not Overwatch. It's just me screaming all the time.
But I do want to let White Shadow give his thoughts on this too.
And this is just an idea that I literally kind of popped into my head. Like, okay, so you don't know a ton about Overwatch, but you like playing it. What if you looked at it from the aspect of, hey, these viewers might know more about the game than I do. They can help me level my character.
Mhm.
You can kind of bring that aspect into it. So play with like a couple of the viewers, or they may be able to like give you tips while you're playing the game. Like, hey, you can do this and get here. So I haven't played World of Warcraft in years, but that could be an aspect on the interaction, and something I don't see a lot of World of Warcraft players do.
Yeah, I usually post in my line like noob alert, send help. So, and I occasionally get randoms in there that give me a couple tips and then they move on. So
Yeah, you can work out ways to do that, I'm pretty sure. But I would guess that it's easier to interact with the chat when you're playing an MMO versus a very fast-paced competitive shooter. So that seems like you're going the right direction there.
okay. All right.
Cool.
Well, thanks. I appreciate your opinions, guys.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
Anytime.
I appreciate it.
I'll go check on Edible and make sure he's okay up there.
Probably
All right,
coloring on the
sounds good.
walls.
All right. See ya.
See ya. Coloring on the... Ooh, I moved Veloc out. My bad.
Good job.
Okay, so we've got like 5 minutes left here. Ending a little bit early because Veloc's got to get to work. But last
not
question
allowed
I
to.
saw here was from Meemaw in the Discord. So Meemaw said, with the holiday season coming up upon us, how much charity streaming is too much to put on your community? This is interesting because like charity burnout is something that I've occasionally talked about. So I'm curious. I don't know how much you guys do charity streams on your own channels. I know you work with us a lot on stuff. But what are your thoughts on like basically charity burnout in general? How much charity streaming is too much charity streaming for your community? I'll kick this off to Veloc first.
I would say no more than one a month. I would say is like, and that might even be too much. I'm not entirely sure, but I definitely wouldn't do more than one a month for any channel. Unless obviously you're huge and you have a huge community behind you. But if you have 15 viewers and you're doing a charity stream every week, you know, you're not going to get the same turnout per charity stream. And the whole point is to raise enough money as possible. But if your thing is being a charity streamer, you want to do it more frequently, obviously. So I would do, you know, like maybe a week out of every month, try to do a charity stream just to, you know, because if that's your thing, then that's what you need to do. But I wouldn't do it all the time, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. I think a month's a pretty decent amount of time. It depends on like how long your actual stream is too. Like if it's just one day versus a week long or however long you're going to do it. White Shadow, what's your take on this?
Kind of same as you guys. I think it depends on the frequency of what you do a charity stream. So like Veloc said, you can do a week-long charity stream, but I wouldn't do that like every single month because of course people are gonna at one run out of money to donate to your cause, and two, they're just like the support just isn't going to be there. So it also depends on like, okay, if I'm going to do a 24-hour charity stream, that might work. But I wouldn't do the frequency in my head. If I were to do a charity stream right now, would be to do one every 2 months or one per quarter, just so people don't get like, oh, we're doing another charity stream. I can't donate this time because I donated all my money last time. You know what I'm saying? You want people to be able to show up and kind of help support the cause that you're pushing. You want to amp it up and hype it up. So I think for me personally, as a person that likes to support charity and wants to do charity streams, one per quarter would be good because you can hype it up. You can work with the charity to really get everything in line. You can get other people involved with the charity and build that charity up to be an awesome event, because a charity event is an event. So mine would be one per quarter.
Yeah, I think one per quarter is probably close to what we generally do with TRUgaming. If even like once every 2 quarters. I will say that like the longer that you wait between charity streams, the more, like you said, an event it is, and the more exciting it is because it's not as common.
Right.
So I think there are different sides to it. Depends on the size of your channel. It depends on how big your community is.
And what kind of stream you run.
For sure. Definitely. But I think you definitely don't want to do like more than one a month probably. Because it's going to start to lose that. Like the turnout for it is going to be lower and the donations, and B, people will just sort of become less interested in them because they're so common. So
Yeah.
if you really want to see a lot of support for them and people donating and really raise something that's cool to do as a community, less is more a lot of times. I think that makes sense if you want to be careful about that. And I think the holiday season is a good point because Thanksgiving and Christmas, a lot of charity streams during that, and even like Veterans Day in November, I believe. I always get Veterans and Memorial Day confused, but those are some good holidays for like military charity streams. So definitely like be thinking about that as you're planning out your streams, like which of these are most important. Am I doing too many? How can I get the maximum engagement with my streams? For sure. So thanks for the question, Meemaw. Great one to end on here as it is 12:30. So man, this one flew by. I feel like this went really fast.
There's some really good questions today.
Yeah. So thanks for everybody who called in and asked questions. Reminder, we do this every single Friday. Actually, we do it Wednesday nights too now with Snoop Hogg. If you can't get to the 11 a.m. show, there's basically an 11 p.m. show, 12 p.m. So please come out to those and support us. We do Stream Key every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, guys. Thank you for supporting the show. White Shadow, since you were the guest, anything you want to say to people before we head off here, where they can find you, maybe your own podcast to plug?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and plug my stream of my podcast. You can find me on stream. You guys know where to find me. That's an easy one. I do have a new podcast for everybody. It is on anchor.fm/TwitchTech, and we go in depth with technology pertaining to streaming. So we have different topics every week, and I will have guests very soon. So yeah, you can find me there. I would love for you guys to come out and check out the podcast.
Sweet. Yeah, check him out, guys. Brand new podcast. And if you like this one, you'll like his because it's all about gear for streaming, and he knows his stuff. Definitely recommend that.
No, I don't know anything.
Don't know anything. Veli, anything you want to say to the beautiful people?
You're beautiful, and I love you all. No, thank you guys for coming out every Friday. This is awesome. I have a lot of, like I say it every week, I have a lot of fun doing this. It's great. I love answering your questions. It kind of helps us, like, it brings us back a little bit because, like, we know like what we're talking about with this stuff, but it's nice as a mental reminder to focus on some of these things that we do know about, but we don't always think about as much as we used to. So this is really cool. It's a learning experience for everyone here, not just you guys, and I really appreciate this for sure.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I definitely want to come back.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back on because we would have had four today,
okay.
But Azamat dropped the ball on us, of course. Oh well.
Yeah, cutting off the power on purpose.
Yeah. I was thinking actually, Velok, if you're interested in this, because next week will be our last one of these before TwitchCon. It'd be cool to do like a
TwitchCon?
It'd be cool to do like a TwitchCon themed episode for next Friday's show. Maybe with like 4 people who are going to the conference. So we can try and do that. If you guys are going to TwitchCon or you want to learn more about it, this would be a great time to do that. So
I'm out.
We'll get you on another week. Don't worry. Do not worry.
I'm just messing with you.
All right. Well, that's the show, guys. Again, thanks for supporting. We do this every single week. You can find all these podcasts on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Pocket Casts, Spreaker, YouTube, Twitch, anything. It's out there. Please go listen. We're 16. I think literally this is like the 69th episode actually, or maybe the next one is. So pretty crazy. But we're not going to stop anytime soon. Stick around because we're going to raid someone really quickly, and then we'll see you on Monday probably. I don't know. We might stream later today with the community stream. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, that's it for us, guys. Thanks for coming out, and see you in a bit. Adios.